Greetings, Soul Tribe. The name of this video, Christ Games Saga, Part 14 of Infinity, the 9 Principalities Melee Parable. The 9 Principalities Melee Parable. That's going to be the name of this video here. The 9 Principalities Melee Parable. So check it out. Before I go in, though, keep these two themes in mind right here, if you would. These two specific themes in mind. Theme number 1. The ignorance of the heart is the fear of the Most High. That's the first thing. The ignorance of the heart is the fear of the Most High. That's the first theme right there to keep in mind. The second thing to keep in mind before I go in. Don't be sorry. Do be better. Don't be sorry. Do be better. So once again, the two things before I go in with the 9 Principalities Melee Parable, Christ Game Saga, Part 14 of Infinity. Before I go in, these two themes again. Don't be sorry, do be better. That's the second theme. And the first one was fear, ignorance, not fear. Ignorance of the heart is the fear of the Most Highest. Ignorance of the heart is the fear of the Most Highest. Keep those two themes in mind. So, 9 Principalities Melee. Once again, before I go on, why do I call it the Christ Games Saga? Why do I call it the Christ Games Saga? Multiple reasons. Here's the most literal one. The literal reason why I call it the Christ Game Saga is because, for one, the literal meaning of the word Christ. What does it literally mean? The title. Also treated as a name given to Jesus. And/or an oath used to express irritation, dismay, or surprise. It is actually uncomfortable to express irritation. It actually is. It's the energy to express it because of what irritation is. The energy to express it, it's disturbing. Let's just say that. You follow what I'm saying? But I do realize the necessity of expressing a form of irritation because I give everyone else and or everything else a chance to see where the irritation is coming from by expressing it. And soon, the people who are, let's say, about that life would eventually do what is necessary to prevent the irritation from spurring and or happening again. And let's never forget, an oath used to express irritation. Remember, this world tells you not to express what it is doing to harm you, hate speeches, while telling you or while enjoying what you are saying if you are expressing irritation in fine detail. Vanity. Right? If that's the proper word to use. Because these people, these so-called people in charge of everything that has everything going so south right now, they actually get a kick and/or an enjoyment out of hearing us express irritation, but then they tell us not to simultaneously with those hate speech laws, right? So it's like, as I said, it's always a game that they're playing on us. It's always a game that they're playing on us. It's what it always is, what it's always going to be about. So this is going to be my game that I'm going to play on them. You're going to play a game on me for no reason, so I'm just going to play a game on you for no reason. Tit for tat, fire with fire. But my fire, it burns seraphically, if you can comprehend what that even means. You'll know what I mean later when I say that. So, I am pure balance, you are pure imbalance. I am pure balance, you are pure imbalance. That's what I mean. Long story short. So, moving forward. Christ Games Saga. Christ Games Saga. An oath used to express irritation, dismay. What is dismay? Expressing dismay. What is dismay? Physical harm, right? To be dismembered, to be dismantled, or to have, or when you actually look at what the word literally means, it primarily talks about a feeling. Let's never forget, your feeling is a direct connection to your reality or the state that your body is physically in. That is what your feeling does. That's what your feeling tells you. A feeling is the direct state of what your body is in. The direct state is what your body is in, your manner of conditioning. You follow what I'm saying? Or your manner of standing. You follow what I'm saying? That's what a feeling is for you. And to be in dismay, or to express dismay, is one expressing the negative state and or standard in which their body is physically in. I don't have a problem doing this at all. I don't. Reason why, once again, telling you all or revealing how and or why we even have dismay in the first place gives you a chance to see where and or who the dismay is coming from, which will eventually give you the courage to stop them from putting it into your lives. Eventually it will. Make you care about your own lives. I am pure balance, you are pure imbalance. That's the difference between me and you right now. That's the main difference, at least. My kind is balanced, yours is imbalanced. That's my kind. My kind stands on balanced grounds, yours stands on chaotic grounds. It's the difference between me and you right now. Your kind stands on dismayed grounds, mine's stands on regular ones. Common grounds, common sense, Donald Trump voice. Yeah, I'm going to get into some of that too in this video. It's going to be a sizable video. Like I said, saga. So, once again, Christ Games Saga. Why am I calling it the Christ Games Saga? All of this is going to tie into this 9 parables, or this 9 principalities. It's going to tie in, you'll see. So, once again, use an oath used to express irritation, dismay, or surprise. An oath used to express irritation, dismay, or surprise, right? Surprise, revelations, surprise, revelations. What is a saga? Saga is a long story, right? What's a parable? Parable's a short story, yeah? This here, 9 principalities, melee parable, a part of the Christ Games Saga. Parable is a short story used to illustrate, or used to label and describe moral and or spiritual upliftance. That's what a parable is. Just a short story, though. But the thing is, this 9 principalities short story is going to be a part of this Christ Games Saga's long story. It's just going to be another piece of a story that ties into a larger, whole, longer story. Our story, the soul story, God's truth. Just what this is going to be. And in the process of me labeling and describing this here story to you, there are going to be a lot of things that you never even knew of, that you never even heard of, to be revealed unto you, and to give you a different set of or style of enlightenment, a different set and or style of enlightenment, in which will help you move forward in life a lot more effectively than you ever thought possible. I don't like to boast. I just know this is what's going to happen if you hear me say these words out loud. That's the main thing for me there. You just need to hear what I'm saying out loud. You can choose not to watch the video, or you can choose to watch the video. You don't have to. I'm just saying things out loud. Ultimately, that's what I'm doing here. So, I'm going to be saying a bunch of things out loud for a reason, of course, to end the wrong game so the right game could be played. That actually isn't a game, it's a way of life. Soul liberation and global child manumission. Same story. Same point as to why I'm talking. But why global child manumission though? Why soul liberation? Why such big ideas here? Why such big ones? Simple. I desire to be in my natural energy, which is balance, warm, just being able to admire and adore warm approval of all of reality all day. I wish to rest in that energy. This is what I wish to rest in. I wish to rest in a life admiring energy. That's what I wish to rest in. But due to your chaotic reality here, it is virtually impossible for me to do so. No one cares. I get that. So, moving forward, now I'm just going to say things out loud that'll enforce this reality to become what is in my body. This energy meaning, this warm energy, this not hurting me energy, this life energy, this regular, common, sensical energy here. Long story short, I just want to live a life where there is no chaos around me at all. I just want to live a normal life. The thing is, it is impossible to do so because nothing around me knows how to do so. Only me. Maybe not just me, right? It's other people. Of course, it's everybody on the planet knows what to do to get things back to normal. It's just you're all too chicken butt, right? I get that from my little cousin. She used to say, guess what? And I used to fall for her little joke every time because of how much I love her. What? Chicken butt. And then she laughs and runs off. She was a baby. Moving forward. You're all chicken butts. So, due to your fears of your heart and or your ignorance of your heart, fear of the Most High, remember the theme, due to these things here, you transgress through life in very wicked, disturbing ways. Take this quote if you would. Always remember, never forget. The only reason why all of this is happening is because of the oppressive body's force of nature, right? The oppressive body's nature can be labeled and described in a sentence such as this. They wish to destroy our lives without disturbance. They wish to destroy our lives without disturbance. So that means they wish to destroy our lives in peace. Think Hitler for a second. Remember, Hitler used to put on the swastika sign. If you, Rizza Islam just recently did a video, or he was in an interview where he was revealing a few more facts about Hitler, or the recessive genetic class individual who stole something from us and wore it and attacked us with it, just like the Europeans are doing right now. It's the same scenario. It's the same thing. It's going to be the same. It's going to give you the same answer no matter what. It's going to keep coming to the same. You'll see. You'll see. Then you'll know what to do. Once you know where it's coming from, you'll know you'll have a reason to stop it. You need a reason to live. I'm dealing with something coming over what you would consider a disease or cold. This is why if I continue to throughout the video, I'm not apologizing to you. Just know the reason why I'm doing it. Moving forward. So, things like Hitler, recessive geneity or recessive individuals, or opposite genetic class individuals like Adolf Hitler, who stole a piece of our information, a piece of our history, because they're auto-driven to be evil. They're auto-driven to be imbalanced. Their kind is auto-driven to be imbalanced. All of their kind is. They're auto-driven to be it. So they can just easily steal something from us, rip it off, and put it on themselves and say, my cause, which is murdering a lot of people relentlessly for no reason at all, is necessary. But did you notice when Adolf Hitler stopped, like midway, if you look at the story in the history, where his plans, if he's used it to, if you push it all the way through, he could have swept the world, but he stopped at a certain country. The names, they slipped my mind, yo. He stopped at a certain country, and then because he retreated from that country, or he didn't go past that borderline, all of the army got defeated, and you know the story about World War II. And the story, and they all got defeated and things of that nature, and his plan didn't necessarily sweep the world like it was going to, like he envisioned it to. But the thing is, was it his plan? Is what I'm ultimately getting at. Was it his plan? What was all of that Adolf Hitler's plan? Was it any of it? Honestly, see, I see beyond the situation. I see beyond the story. This is why we're trying to breeze through your history and a lot of the things that happen in your history so quickly, because I see beyond it. I see beyond all of the history. I'm going to memorize the dates and the years and the times and things of that nature when I get my foundation in line personally. I'm going to do that myself so that the message that I present unto you can be more stronger and more effective the right way. No misleading you. Will not mislead you. You cannot pay me to mislead you at all. So ultimately what I'm getting at, was that any of that Adolf Hitler's plan at all? Was it honestly any of his plan? I say no. He carried it out though, yeah. Absolutely, he carried it out. But was it his plan? I don't think it was. I know it wasn't his plan, actually. I know whose plan it actually was. Yea, who sits on the crown, or yea, who wishes to be the crown, so to speak, the logos of the world, the jealousy logos. That's whose plan it was. Just through us. Dost thou wish to instill and lay thine foundation upon thine world, upon our ethos. If you watch that video I posted about the ethos, the enemy, the true enemy of the world is trying to destroy our lives with our lives. The true enemy of the world is turning nature against nature. The true enemy of the world is putting what we are against each other endlessly, night and day, without stop or any rain checks at all. No vacations, no days off, endlessly, infinitely, non-stop harassment, dark. I see this from a galactic negative. I see this from galactic. I see this from a galactic scale. You follow what I'm saying? Like I see it. I can label and describe it like this. I see galactic energies at play here. I see galactic energies at play in this form in particular. There's a galactic positive energy. There's a galactic balanced energy, which is the side I stand on only. And then there's a galactic negative energy, which is what the oppressive body is entirely, a galactic negative energy. And we're all within the space that we are in currently, which is the galactic positive energies, literal foundational space. But the thing is, due to the galactic negative energy being in here with us, the galactic balance energy can't necessarily keep all the things that it is preserving to stay upright and steady. You follow what I'm saying? It's tough. It's difficult. We need the physical yous to be more Christ-minded. We need the physical you all to be more Christ-minded, but then also be able to think beyond, because we don't necessarily need the names or the titles of anything. I'm just using them because, you got to be reached through what you know already the most in order to pull you up in the spirit more. You have to be. I'm gonna master it and learn all the memory, all the history, the knowledge of the history, the years and dates, so I can present my messages unto you more effectively. I'm going to do it. I promise you I am. I have to get my foundation in line though. I want to have a home where I have a library, a gym, and a studio all in one. That's the kind of home I would like to have. Just put that out there real quick. Moving forward. So, 9 Principalities Melee, right? Christ Games Saga, Part 14 of Infinity, Christ Games. Bunch of stories all in one. Bunch of short stories all in one story to make a long story and or a whole story. Our story, his story. Which story? The light of the universe's story. The light of the universe? Yeah, the light of the universe. The light, which will never set upon Wakanda again, says Eric Killmonger. Eric Killmonger said, the light will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. The light will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. What do you think he meant by that? The light will never set, meaning it'll always stay up. Meaning the light will always stay up on the Wakandan Empire. The light will always stay up upon the Wakandan Empire. So that means the light will always stay up on the throne. The light will always stay up on the throne. Think about that for a second, right? 9 Principalities Melee Parable. I'm getting ready to get into the meat and potatoes. It's going to be a sizable video, but if you stuck with me, take a listen. You might gather something. You may. 9 Principalities Melee. So check it out, right? 9 Principalities. What are the 9 Principalities? What are the 9 Principalities? They are as follows. Number 1, ignorance. Number 2, greed. Number 3, gluttony. Number 4, let me restart. It is ignorance, greed, lust, gluttony. Then it is pride, wrath, sloth, jealousy, and then it is fear. That is all 9, right? Yeah, that's 9 in total. Notice the order that they are in. That order is the order that they're in. It's gonna mean something later. So once again, though, they're ignorance, greed, lust, and gluttony. Greed, lust, and gluttony. Greed, lust, and gluttony. Those are the bottom 3 after ignorance. After ignorance is greed, lust, and gluttony, right? And then after greed, lust, and gluttony. Notice it's the 7. It's the 7 major deadly sins with 2 more sins outside of them. It's the 7 major deadly sins with 2 more sins outside of them. That's all it is. You see? It's just a certain order that they are in. After my own personal realignment that I've been having with the information that I've been gathering lately, I had another realignment. I had more revelations, more towering amounts of information that gave me a more strong and more firm realignment and a more reestablishment with my spirit soul traits. The spirit soul energy built in me. The spirit soul energy built within my being. The spirit soul energy built within my being. I've had more powerful realignments with the spirit soul energy built within my being, due to the information that our ancestors have out here for us to have the knowledge and their wherewithal in regards to how to realign with the spirit soul energy built within our beings. You follow what I'm saying? Like I said, it's going to be a sizable video if you can bear with it. So, the 9 principalities melee. What are the 9 principalities? What do I mean by principalities first? Before I go in to talk about that 7 major deadly sins with the 2 more sins that are outside. And the two sins outside are fear and ignorance. The 2 sins outside are fear and ignorance. Fear and ignorance. The 2 sins outside are fear and ignorance. Moving forward. So, the 9 principalities. Principalities. What is a principality? A principality in traditional Christian angelology, the 5th highest order of the 9-fold celestial hierarchy. The 5th highest order. The 5th highest order of a 9-fold celestial hierarchy. Which celestial hierarchy is it talking about? Because it just says 9-fold celestial hierarchy. What is the celestial hierarchy it is talking about in the definition? All of the definitions, because it just keeps saying the celestial hierarchy. That's all it says. It could be talking about any celestial hierarchy, couldn't it? Yeah, it could be. But it's talking about one specific in particular. The 9 choirs of angels celestial hierarchy. The 9 choirs of angels hierarchy. The 9 choirs of angels. Principality originally sat at the 5th according to this Google definition or this Google online search. But then I looked at other definitions like the one for virtue, and it still said it was originally the 7th slot of the 9 choir angel hierarchy. Virtues was in the 7th slot originally. So that means the heart of hearts is the 5th, or virtues is the 7th. So what's the lineup now? It's seraphim, cherubim, thrones. Those are the first 3. Dominions, principalities, powers. Those are the next 3. And then the final 3, virtues, archangels, and angels. That's the 9 choir hierarchy listing right there. Once I studied that and gathered it and learned it, I had another realignment. I found out that my actual master, well, I've been through this, of course. I'm just telling you all that the soul of the universe, I've been telling you all the same story over and over again. But now it's just more concrete and more perfectly in line now. And now I'm about to just start dropping more 9-dimensional thoughts on you all day. I'm about to drop 9D thoughts on you all day from now on. This is another 9D thought. This entire parable is a 9D thought if you watch it all the way through. I'm about to just straight drop 9D thoughts on you all day long. Nothing else. Like I said, I want to get you all to a 9-dimensional thinking mind as soon as possible. As soon as possible, I'd like to get you all to a 9-dimensional thinking mind. Why though? Why? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to post these videos? Because I am tired of living amongst your chaos and I want it to come to an end. I am tired of living on top of your chaos and I want it to come to an end. I am tired of living in a reality where you are spikes beneath my feet and enjoying it while giggling as my sealed light. Giggling as my sealed light and spikes beneath my feet. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. The sun should never set upon me. The sun will never set upon me. Meaning it'll never go down. Meaning it'll always be in the air. Meaning it'll always be up. Meaning the light will always be on the throne. You'll get what I mean when I say that later. 9 principalities melee. 9 principalities. What are the principalities? What is a principality first? It's all meaning. I see the angels as divine character traits. I see all of the angels as divine character traits. This is what I see the angels as. Our own personal, divine, divinative character traits. Take this quote for you, if you will. Satan is dead. Lucifer and Satan are ancestors right now. How would you respond to that? Just by me saying it to you. I'm just going to put that in your head. Like I said, I'm just going to say these words out loud. I'm also going to say these words out loud. The true God doesn't have a gender. What do you think of that? I'm just going to say it out loud. Satan is an ancestor right now. Lucifer is an ancestor right now. Baal is an ancestor right now. El Shaddai is an ancestor right now. How would you take those words? Just going to say them out loud. Because this is what I'm comprehending right now from all the things I'm gathering. They are ancestors. The one that you feel like is a demon. The one, because let's not forget, this is reverse world, right? Everything in this world that we've been told is good is actually evil, and everything that we've been told is evil might actually be good, like the third eye chakra, for example. And everything that connects Endor is a constituent of the third eye chakra, for example. Like the thrones angel, the divine character trait that we all are. Did you notice the thrones in all of its depictions are just a bunch of eyes in the sky representing a light or something that can see, or that's giving everything the ability to see, or how it has, or it is shining. In other words, that thrones angel is just a symbolism of the sun. The ability to be able to see everywhere. The ability to be able to see everywhere. That's what a light in the sky does, right? It gives you the ability to see everywhere. Like you have eyes everywhere, rotating all around nonstop. You see? The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. Meaning the light will always be on the throne. Meaning the light will always be upon the throne. The light will always be upon the throne. I'm just using the parable for something else, if you get where I'm going right now. Moving forward. So, check it out, right? 9 principalities melee. Principality. What is a principality? A principality, in traditional Christian angelology, the 5th highest order of a 9-fold celestial hierarchy. In the celestial hierarchy is the 9 choirs of angels. So, if the 5th spot is principalities, and the angel hierarchy is an aspect of the chakra hierarchies. Because guess what? Everything is just spiritual powers here that I'm talking about. The angels are spiritual powers. The archangels are our ancestors. We ourselves are archangels. Why don't we have wings? Angels don't have wings. Remember, divine character traits. I am tired of seeing these pale angels be labeled and described as who and or what I am divinely. What I am, my divine self, is not a whole bunch of white people. Remember, when the enemy colonized the world, the enemy colonized all of the information of the world. My divine character traits are not a bunch of white people with wings. My divine character traits are not a bunch of white people with wings. My divine character traits are not a bunch of white people with wings. You have to realize how much we have been being lied to here. Angels are attendant spirits or spiritual powers. That's what angels literally are. More of our divine abilities. That's what all of the angels actually are. More of our divine abilities. That's what the angels actually are. One more time. I know I sound kind of annoying or agitating with it. I don't mean to. But it's just the story, the way I have to get the story off. The songs I choose, like the video game stories the video game songs I've been choosing, it's just a part of the story. The angels are our divine character traits and abilities. That's what the angels actually are. More of our divine abilities, more of our divine abilities to do things. That's what the angels literally are. Long story short, yo. Look up what the word seraphim actually means. Purity, or associated with light and ardor. You know what ardor is? You know what ardor means in Latin? To burn. The word ardor is what labels and describes essentially the source of fire and lightning of the universe. The source of fire and lightning in the universe. The purest version of them. That's pretty much what the word is. Quantum. Seraphic energy is quantum energy. Seraphic energy is the quantum soul energy. That's what seraphic energy is. According to what the meaning of the word is, when you look it up, that's what it's telling me it is. That's what it literally defines as. Seraphic energy is quantum energy. Seraphic energy is soul energy. The word seraphic means the characteristical traits of a seraph or seraphim. A seraph, the highest order of the ninefold celestial hierarchy in traditional Christian angelology. Angelology, angelology, angel logic theology, all in one word, you see. It's labeling and describing our quantum connection. That's what the ninefold hierarchy is doing. As what the soul star chakra hierarchy is talking about, is labeling and describing our connections to the quantum and/or our connections to source and/or our connections to God, the literal God. What does God literally mean? The definition before I go on. God means four things: the creator, one, of the universe; the ruler, two, of the universe; the source of all moral authority. Moral authority. Doesn't say anything about the source of all immoral authority now, does it? It says the source of all moral authority. The source of all moral authority. And fourth and finally, the supreme being. Nine principalities melee, the supreme being. Being, the supreme being. Nine principalities melee. Who's more superior than the other nine? Right now, currently, according to my parable, it's only one that is more superior to the other nine. And this one that I have more superior than the other eight are, because I kept saying nine, so if it's one within the parable, then that means the other eight principalities would pale in comparison to this one principality that sits on the throne. I'm your king. Moving forward, though. So, if you're catching me right now, if you get where I'm going with it, yeah, it's going to be a lot of Eric Killmonger references in this here Nine Principalities melee parable, because at the end of the day, he's going to be the one that wins. And this time, when he kicks you and whoops you down, layeth the smacketh down upon thine spiritual immorality self, when he tosses you off a cliff, you ain't coming back. And the sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire, meaning it'll never go down upon it. Meaning it'll always sit on the throne, my son on the throne. Did you know that Eric Killmonger was a son in the movie? He wasn't a father necessarily, but he was still a son. Moving forward. Here. So, Seraphim is an aspect of the soul star chakra. Quantum is an aspect of the soul star chakra. They're all one and the same thing, because they label and describe themselves as the same thing, the source of life and where life comes from, or where the energy in which gives us our abilities to go stem from. I am labeling and describing this information from the spirit to the flesh, and/or I can label and describe it from the flesh to the spirit. I'm going to say that again. I can label and describe this information from the spirit to the flesh, or I can do it in a way, or I can talk about it and or speak about it in a way where it's from the flesh to the spirit, you see. I can do it either way. Day of Judith calls it the current of manifestation. That's from the flesh to the spirit. And the spirit and the current of liberation. That is from the spirit to the flesh. The current of liberation is when you speak on things from the spirit to the flesh. And the current of manifestation is when you speak on things from the flesh to the spirit. When you speak of things in those patterns right there. And this 9 choir hierarchy is a way to speak from the spirit to the flesh, and all that it is constituent of, and or an aspect of, and or hold similarities towards, and or about, can label and describe. You can use it to label and describe anything from the flesh to the spirit. Current of manifestation. The current of manifestation, speaking things into existence, saying things out loud that'll spiritually uplift the family to be the home that I can only get back to through them. Meaning I can only get to the home I'm trying to go to through you. Ethos parable, remember? And how do I get to my home? How do I go home through you all? I have to spiritually skyrocket every spiritual mentality on this planet. I have to. It's actually going to be quite easy. Just say a few things out loud that you never heard before, or that you never thought about, right? That's what y'all say. Oh, I never thought of it like that. Of course you haven't. You've been getting told your entire lives to think about everything outside of this one thing in every way possible. For so long, I said it already. You've been getting told to think about everything other than this one thing, which is the best version of you your entire life. So of course you're going to never think about, or you would have most likely never thought about a lot of the things I'm talking about now because you were told not to your entire life. You see? So that's what this Christ Game Saga is going to be about. It's going to be about saying things out loud, just fun thoughts to toss around, to kind of sort of enforce balance into reality. Because right now all of reality is imbalanced and it's driving me insane. I'm just acting like it isn't, but simultaneously doing everything necessary to stop it from, or just doing whatever I can to help stop it from being so imbalanced. You follow what I'm saying? I just got this. I could just say things with my dominion voice or my dominating voice, my voice that can dominate the imbalance of the world just by speaking on how to dominate the imbalance of the world. You see how the sentences align? Think about it. When you speak things into existence, certain things you speak into existence actually come into existence. Meaning now, when it's manifest, it dominates the space it is in. If that makes sense to you. Dominions, right? Here. I'm gonna come back to the angels in a different video. I don't want to ponder on it too long. But ultimately what I'm getting at in regards to the main information that I gather from the angels is that the heart of hearts is the principality of principalities. The heart of hearts is the principality of principalities. That's what I'm ultimately getting at right there. I didn't want to skip my subject. I didn't want to go too far off and start talking about other things. I want to stay on topic of what I'm talking about. The 9 principalities melee. The heart of hearts is the principality of principalities. You follow what I'm saying? So long story short, all of the other principalities need to get tossed, ripped apart, destroyed, beaten, thrown into the fire, and left there. You either turn into a stone that can resist the fire, or you burn till your end. Period. You either turn into a stone in the fire that can withstand the fire, or you burn till your end. Period. But what's going to be the benefit of you becoming a stone that can withstand everlasting fire? Nothing. Get out of the fire. Once you become the stone that they refused. But how can a stone get out of a fire? It don't have legs, does it? It's a parable. Think about it. Spiritual upliftance. It's just a parable. Stone can't sprout legs, roll out of a fire, can't do that, none of that. I get it. So let's not forget, they're also flying over the fire, manipulating your stone, or manipulating your process of becoming fire resistant as you're in your process of becoming fire resistant. And even if you were to become fire resistant within the fire, they'd still be manipulating you or screwing with you while you're fire resistant. Never ends with evil. It just never ends. It only gets worse. Evil only gets worse. It never gets better. Evil can only get worse. It can never get better. Moving forward here, 9 principalities melee. 9 principalities melee. I say things like, the heart of hearts is the King of Kings non-physical body. That's what I said. I say the heart of hearts is the King of Kings non-physical body. That's what I say. When you think about my chakra tree Murdy parable, combine it with this story. See what I mean? Like I said, I'm combining a whole bunch of other parables into this one parable right here to make it, even though it's supposed to be a short story, it's going to equate to a long story because it's a whole bunch of other stories inside it with this story here, saga, to make it make more sense. Surprise. You see? Let me see. You got to make it make more sense though. Got to make it be clear to you. If evil doesn't stop, it only gets better. If it puts you in the fire, they just watch you burn in the fire. It'll just watch you burn. Won't even try to pull you out. If you don't become a stone in the fire, resistant, Let me see. 9 principalities melee. The heart of hearts is the principle of principles. The heart of hearts is the principality of principalities. What does the word principalities mean? Another definition of the word principalities. It means a state ruled by a prince. Now, a state can mean a territory of land, or it can mean the physical conditioning that you are in. A state can be labeled and described as a territory or land, and or it can be labeled and described as the physical condition that you are in. Now, here's what I'm ultimately getting at right here. Now, for one thing is to keep in mind is this. Evil is the source of all of the wrong principalities here. Evil is the source of all of the foul principalities, all of them. So taking out the one evil alone takes out the other 9 principalities as well. And it just leaves you with your king, the balance itself, you see. And this time it ain't coming back. Because this time Eric Killmonger's going to win in my story, and the sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire. Meaning it'll always be on the throne. The light will always be up and it'll always be on the throne. It won't set. Of course it's going to set in real life. You know, it goes down moons, Ra-moon. Of course it's always going to do that, Ra-moon. It doesn't matter. It's just the parable. You dig what I'm saying? It's the parable itself about how the light will always stay up on us. Meaning our principal, our actual leader, our actual master, not the false slave masters. Our actual master will always have our backs, always have our way established for us, always. Nothingness supremacy. Nothingness supremacy. What could you mean by that? Nothingness supremacy, an energy that ain't hurting you. It's just giving you a way to be. And peace, respect, balance, and progression, and or peace, love, unity, and advancement. Same message. Moving forward. So, 9 principalities melee. Now, peep the order right quick. Principalities, right? Well, I'm gonna finish this real quick. I'm gonna finish that definition so I don't sound too all over the place with this. The principality, the definition, its origin in English. It means principle, spelt with a P-A-L, right? Principle, spelt with a P-A-L, right? Now, when you define the word principle, spelt with the N at the end, or P-R-I-N-C, or P-R-I-N-C-P-A-L, oh, come on, dude. Principle with an A-L at the end of the word. Principle with an A-L at the end of the word. I gotta have things mastered, bro. Moving forward. Principle with an A-L at the end of the word. It means first, in line of importance, main. And then when you continue looking at the word, it has a synonym or is synonymous with the word master. You follow what I'm saying? Meaning the word principle is synonymous with the word master. And right now, the source of all immoral authority has about 9 different masters governing the world right now as we speak. 9 of them that I calculate and that I have measured. 9 different masters governing this world right now, all over the world. And fear and ignorance are the 2 most powerful ones, but there are still 7 major ones that we know of, that we can label and describe right now. And there's a certain order that they are in right now for me personally because of the way my story has been realigning with the angels and all the other information that has connected into and or became a constituent with the information that I have thereof. If that makes sense to you. You follow what I'm saying? So it's all love at the end of the day, yo. It's all love no matter what. This is all love. I guarantee you it is. So check it out, right? The 9 principalities melee. Principality. The state, ruled by a prince. A state, ruled by a prince. State, meaning a territory of land and or the physical conditioning or manner of standing that you personally are in. You personally are in. Negative energy can have you standing somewhere you are not supposed to be. Negative energy can have you standing in a position that you don't want to be in necessarily. And or negative energy can have you standing anywhere in a territory, in a colonized region of land, somewhere that is outside of the norm of what you are supposed to be. Positive and balance, good and balanced energy, goodness in which is upright and steady. Life is supposed to be balanced. Life is supposed to be upright and steady. Life is not supposed to be imbalanced. Why is life imbalanced right now? You want to know why? Because we do not war against flesh and blood, but we war against these principalities. What are the principalities? Ignorance, greed, lust and gluttony, pride, wrath and sloth, jealousy and fear. Those are the 9 principalities in which we are up against. Those are the 9 principalities. So, check the order though, as I said it, right? Prince of Darkness is the source of all immoral authority. Immoral authority. The source of all moral authority is the Prince of Peace. The source of all moral authority is the Prince of Peace. And the Prince of Peace is the principle of our reality, the true principle of our reality. But the source of all immoral authority, the one that sits on the throne right now currently that I desire to dethrone, I, meaning me personally, the I here desires to dethrone so it can stop ruining our lives, especially mine's. It's all about me at the end of the day, moving forward. The entity, the darkness that I wish to dethrone right now sits on the throne and has the 9 evil principalities in our faces governing our world, governing our actions, governing how we decide to treat and or talk to each other and or behave around each other and or maneuver around each other. Now, here is a more funnier part to this parable here. A funnier part, so to speak. So, the way we beat this, the fastest way we beat this as a species is to tap into what I can only label and describe as great father energy. That's the main way I can label and describe. Another way we can tap into a different divine mindset to beat this, to beat the darknesses of the world. We have to tap into what can be labeled and described as great father energy. Great father energy, right? Now, I got these anime characters, as well as 2 other fathers upon this list that are a way to help me memorize the lineup and why the lineup is the way the lineup is. And these 9 fathers that I have on this list, technically 8 fathers if you don't want to count the Raising Dion story or the Raising Dion show, technically 8 fathers if you don't want to count the Raising Dion show. 9 fathers parable is the 9 principalities parable as well, because we need to tap into the great father energy of the creator or the most high or the light of the universe, in which gave birth versus creation. Birth versus creation. Is there a difference? You tell me. That's another story to get into later though. Birth versus creation. Is there a difference or are they the same? Phenomena versus polarity. Phenomena versus polarity. Think about those as well as you ponder with that. Now, great father energy. Before I go on, let me bring this back up. Don't be sorry, do be better. When you do your dad wrong and you keep apologizing to your dad over and over again, does he like auto forgive you sometimes? Does he have that auto forgive nature? Does he? So it's like, okay, if that's the case, stop taking advantage of your dad's great energy and just do better. Don't be sorry, do be better. Remember, that's the next one to talk about here. Great father energy parable. Now, I wanted to say that before I say this now. In this hierarchy list that I have as far as the 9 fathers parable goes, technically 8 if you don't want to count the Raising Dion story or the Raising Dion show. The Raising Dion show. It's technically 8 fathers if you don't want to count the Raising Dion show, but it's 9 fathers according to the list I got set up right now and how I have them in order, right? Remember, I said great father energy. It's all about characters for me. It's all about morals for me. It's all about spirit, soul. It's all about giving you ideas and how you can raise your spiritual vibrations to the roof and beyond, to the quantum. That's what it's all about for me. Getting you all to raise your spiritual vibrations to a 9-dimensional thinking mind and beyond. So, great father energy. I got 9 fathers in my mind that line up and or make this make a lot more funner sense and funnier sense and made it more fun to like create the thought and put it together and things of that nature, right? 9 fathers. The first father And I'm going to label and describe it from the creation or the spirit to the flesh. I'm going to label and describe the fathers from the spirit to the flesh. The first father on this list is actually Black Lightning. Like I said, I'm about to use comic book characters and video game characters to make this make a lot more funner sense, because it's the 9 principalities melee, and each of these fathers, they also, in a sense, represent the body in which embodies the entire hierarchy slot that'll be doing the fighting in this arena here of the 9 principalities melee, you see. But at the end of the day, once they're all tired out and fighting and done losing to the Eric Killmonger slot, which is the 3rd slot, it'll be the king, and the sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire ever again. Do I really mean the Wakandan Empire, though? No, I'm manifesting God's kingdom worldwide. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just saying things that's going to help manifest God's kingdom worldwide a lot faster. That's the main thing I'm doing right now. I'm just saying things that are going to help manifest God's kingdom worldwide a lot faster. Moving forward. So, the 9 fathers parable, which is also the 9 principalities parable, which is also the 9 deadly sins parable, all in one. That's what it is. And it's also the 9 choirs of angels hierarchy parable in one. It's also mine own personal 9 chakra hierarchy system in one, or 9-fold chakra hierarchy system in one. Why do I say it's mine own personal? Because when you do the research and the information and the research and the looking up online, you won't see anything that labels and describes a 9-fold chakra hierarchy system. You won't see anything that says a 9-fold chakra hierarchy system, meaning there's not one out here yet. There's not one out here yet. I'm sure there's going to be one out here soon, thanks to me talking about it. I'm sure there's going to be a 9-fold chakra hierarchy system out here now due to me talking about it. Soon there will be, but there isn't one right now. You want to know the chakra hierarchy systems that are out here right now? You got a 5-fold one, you got a 12-fold one, you got a 7-fold one, and you got a 144-fold one. But you ain't got no 9-fold ones out here. You ain't got no 9-fold chakra hierarchy systems, and that's going to be the actual most important hierarchy system for you all to have. The 9-fold chakra hierarchy system is going to be one of the most important 9-fold chakra hierarchy systems for you all to have in your arsenal right now. This is another reason why I'm saying it. Another reason why I'm saying it out loud. I just need the melanated people to have capital divine discernment, capital divine discernment, or divine capital discernment. I need all of the melanated people alive and breathing and somewhere in existence and reality to be able to have capital divine discernment. That's what all of these parables are going to do for you. If you can just read between the lines or read between the whatever you need to read between to get the information that you need in order the solution thoughts you need to raise your spiritual vibrations through the roof and beyond. Because once your spiritual vibrations are raised through the roof and beyond, your level of discernment will also be raised through the roof and beyond. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire, meaning the light will always be in the sky for you to be able to see everything. And no one will ever be able to play on you again, ever again. No more slavery, no more wickedry, no more sordid behavior, no more. It's all burned away. And as my son is burning you all out of the game, I don't care if you do not turn into a stone worthy enough to withstand the fires at all. You're just gonna burn. The sun will never set upon the Wakandan Empire, meaning it'll never go down, meaning the light will always shine, meaning the light will always stay upon the throne. Ra will always stay upon the throne. What is Ra? Ra means sun. What is moon? Moon. Saying things. Moving forward, here. 9 principalities melee. 9 principalities melee, right? So the first father is Black Lightning from the Black Lightning show. Who's the next father? The next father is Yahweh, the fake father. Did I just ruin the whole mood?